It was a cold, grey Sunday afternoon when Mark sat alone in the parked car outside his house, gripping the steering wheel like it was the only thing holding him together. His wife, Sara, was inside with their 4-year-old son. He had promised to take them to the zoo that morning, but he didn't show up. Instead, he sat in a coffee shop 2 blocks away, trying to avoid the heavy truth that had been eating away at him for months. Mark had cheated on Sara a year ago. It was a short-lived, one-time thing that meant nothing, yet it meant everything. She didn't know. He never told her. But ever since then, something broke inside him. He began pulling away from her, stopped looking into her eyes, and flinched every time she said, "I love you." He thought keeping it a secret would protect her, but it didn't protect their love. It poisoned it. The guilt was unbearable. The memory haunted him like a ghost, whispering in his ear every time he smiled or laughed. He didn't feel he deserved happiness. And slowly, piece by piece, he began to sabotage everything good in his life. He avoided romantic moments, found excuses to stay late at work, and convinced himself that she'd be better off without him. The guilt turned into self-hate, and self-hate turned into depression. That day in the car, he almost walked away from his family, not because he didn't love them, but because he didn't know how to forgive himself. He thought if he suffered enough, it would make it right, but it didn't. It just made everything worse. If you've ever hurt someone you love, especially in a relationship like marriage, you know that the guilt can crush you. You may feel like you don't deserve forgiveness. But here's the truth that saved Mark's life. You can't build a better future by living in punishment for your past. The turning point came after a therapy session, where the counselor said something that hit him like lightning. You cannot punish yourself into being a better person. Only love can do that. And that's when things slowly started to change. Forgiving yourself doesn't mean forgetting what you did. It means accepting it, taking responsibility, and deciding to grow from it. Mark began journaling every day, writing down his thoughts, his guilt, his regrets. And slowly, he started writing about hope, too, about what kind of man he wanted to be, instead of just replaying the man he had been. One of the most powerful tools he discovered was self-compassion. Dr. Kristin Neff, a leading researcher on self-compassion, writes, "Self-compassion involves treating yourself with the same kindness, concern, and support you'd show a good friend." Research published in the Journal of Counseling Psychology shows that people who practice self-compassion after making mistakes are more likely to make healthy changes and maintain stronger relationships. The study found that self-compassion helped reduce shame, improved emotional resilience, and supported long-term personal growth. Mark also started volunteering once a week. It may sound unrelated, but doing something good for others helped him reconnect with the part of himself he thought he lost. It reminded him that he could still do good, that he was still worthy of redemption. One evening, while putting their son to bed, Mark sat beside Sara and said, "I need to tell you something I should have told you a long time ago." He confessed everything. He expected her to scream, to leave, to take their son and never come back. But she didn't. She cried. She broke down. But she also saw the pain in him. She saw the months of suffering, the honesty in his voice, and the love that never left. It wasn't easy. It took a long time. There were nights of silence, awkward dinners, therapy sessions, and slow, cautious rebuilding. But Sara forgave him, not because he deserved it, but because she loved him. And because he had finally forgiven himself, he could accept that love without running away from it. Mark learned that you can't undo your past, but you can choose not to let it define your future. He realized that being a better husband doesn't mean being perfect. It means being honest, present, and committed to growth. The hardest part of forgiving yourself is believing that you still deserve to be happy. But here's something to remember, always. Forgive yourself for not knowing what you didn't know before you learned it. Maya Angelou. You're human. You make mistakes. but you're also capable of learning, healing, and loving again. Forgiving yourself is not weakness. It's courage. It's strength. It's the only way forward. So, if you're holding on to guilt that's ruining your life, like Mark was, let go. Take responsibility. Apologize if you can. Make it right if you're able. But then let go. You don't have to live in shame forever. You are not your past. You are who you choose to become now.